Is this function even or odd? Well, we know this function is odd because f of x equals negative f of negative x. So you might have seen this definition of odd function, or if you divide both sides by -1, another definition of odd function is if indeed negative f of x is equals to f of negative x. Let's focus on the first definition here. So what we have to do is we have to do function substitution and figure out what right side is. This is left side. Left side is the original function. But this here is the right side. The right side is equals to negative something, and that something happens to be f of negative x. So f of negative x, what is f of x? F of x is this, x cubed plus x. But f of negative x, we're going to substitute and replace every occurrence of x with negative x. So we have something cubed plus something, and that something happens to be whatever is within the brackets, which is negative x. So all we have to do is do some expanding here. This is negative something. Negative x times negative x times negative x is negative x cubed. Plus bracket minus becomes a minus x. And now we're simply going to distribute the negative sign here. So the right side, two negatives become a positive, negative and a negative become a positive x. So as you can see, right side is equal to this, which is also the same thing as the left side, which is up here. The left side is also f of x equals x cubed plus x. So indeed, left side equals right side. So therefore, the function f of x is odd. If you wanted to test out if this function is even, if the function is even, you'd have to show that f of x equals f of negative x, but it's not. Let's focus on the second example here. We have a nice rational function here. It looks like here's the origin. It's shifted 2 left, 2 down. And so somehow this function, it mirrors nicely. It appears to be a self-inverse function in the sense that it reflects along the line y equals x. However, that's not the question. The question is it even or odd? Now the idea of even function is that if you flip it sideways, f of x equals f of negative x, it should be the same. But because this red graph here is shifted to the left, when you flip it sideways, it's going to be heavy towards the right, so it's not even. Now, visually, what about odd functions? Odd functions, when you flip it sideways and you flip it again about the y-axis as well, x and y-axis, if you flip it twice, it should be the same. But again, this graph is a bit heavy towards the bottom left. When you flip it, it's also called flipping about the origin. It's going to end up in the top right. So this is not an odd function, so it's neither. It's neither even or odd.